Okay, you guys, good morning. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Um, I want to talk about a couple things. So, the Representative Nancy Mace has lost her ever-loving fucking mind. Um, she's trying to send, she's trying to censure Ilhar Oman, to strip her of committee assignments after her disgraceful remarks on Charlie Kirk's assassination. Except there weren't any. Her resolution does not contain a single quote from me because she couldn't find any. Yeah, I mean, does that surprise anybody? Because it does not surprise me. Unlike her, I have routinely condemned political violence no matter the political ideology. This is all an attempt to push a false story so she can fundraise and boost her run for governor. Of course it is. We know that. Yes, of course it is. But I was trying to find a post. Of course, it's everybody of color. Everybody of color. In 2021, 8 of the 10 states with the highest gun death rates per capita were won by Trump in the 2020 election. Imagine that. Yeah. Imagine that. Spiking gun violence. The censure attempt comes as waves of people face professional reprisal over their speech in the wake of Charlie Kirk's killing. Google handed over Gmail account information to ICE before notifying the student or giving him the opportunity to challenge the subpoena about a pro-Palestinian student. This is out of control, you guys. A war framing confuses the issue. This is not a war. Former Pentagon lawyer Sarah Harrison, who advised on officials with extrajudicial killing, explained U.S. forces went out and committed murder. And the drone strike, yeah, we're blowing up boats. Now there's a second boat, another. For the first time in U.S. has sanctioned an organization specifically for using lawful, peaceful tools of advocacy. Photographers in Gaza risk their lives to witness the war. Their images speak louder than the critics trying to discredit them. GOP backtrack on bill that could have let Marco Rubio revoke passports from Israeli critics. Good, because I'm going to tell you something. That just happened. Lauren Boebert, another boat. U.S. forces went out and committed murder in the drone strike off the coast of Venezuela. Yeah, they did. Proton Mail is an actual. Good to see that Proton Privacy is reconsidering account suspensions. Journalists are among the users who need these and similar tools. Most M. Shelton, Freedom of the Press Foundation's Deputy Director of Digital Security, told The Intercept. Use Proton Mail. I use it. Fucking Hakeem Jeffries, if you do not, if you need to get the fuck out of office. We don't need you anymore. You are you are like a wet cloth. I mean, when it comes to you have like anti-charisma, dude. Anti-charisma. You're all of your little moves up on behind the podium, all your little, attempted to rhyme, your rapping career. Give it up, man. I'm telling you, whether you like it or not, this man, Mamdani, he is the future of the Democratic Party. Even after Hochul's endorsement, New York Democratic establishment remains split over whether they should rally behind Mamdani, Cuomo, or seemingly no one. Cuomo, really? Because Trump's backing him? Yeah, Mamdani. If you don't endorse him, we're going to vote your asses out. This is who we want as the face of the Democratic Party. I wanted to find this. So they slipped some stuff in the bill. They slipped some stuff in their bill right when everybody was confused and distracted with the death of Charlie Kirk. They managed to put some stuff in. They slipped some stuff in the bill, in the budget bill, that was tied to punishing pro-Palestinian causes and fucking with pro-Palestinian students and people that just don't want to see a genocide streamed live in 4K. For all the world to see. This has been going on for fucking years. Knock it off, stuff. Killing people. They're actually having a fucking starvation campaign. I mean, I'm going to tell you, they put They have a biker gang from the United States. This is the one I wanted to see. They have a biker gang from the United States called the Infidels, who are running security for the GHF. Now, the GHF and the IDF kicked out 400 aid organizations, which their whole purpose, they were specialized professionals at giving out aid in war zones. Just fired them all, said, oh, we can handle it. And now they're taking pot shots at Palestinians as they go to pick up food. You don't believe me? I have video. Now, this bitch right here, Boebert measure received no discussion when it was approved by the House of a voice vote of a part of a package of amendments to the budget bill Tuesday. That was the bill that passed punishing politically motivated boycotts of Israel. Far-right Representative Lauren Boebert added an amendment to the Pentagon budget that targets the BDS movement against Israel. Ridiculous. I saw this on Twitter and I thought this was awesome. Rutger Bregman reposted conspiratorial report. People are noticing. That's Ben Shapiro, far-right podcaster, Jewish, by the way. And somebody in a comment said, I just realized that your entire business model requires that us normal folk hate each other. That's true. That's true. A bold cash transfer experiment in Flint, Michigan is showing extraordinary results for babies' health. Giving every pregnant woman $1,500 and $500 a month after birth costs preterm births and NICU stays, saving more in healthcare costs than the program spent. He does some good work. I want to find some posts he put out yesterday about. Okay, there's graphic. Okay, so there's graphic content here. Devastating new investigation by Dutch newspaper De Volkskrant. 15 international doctors report at least 114 Palestinian children with a single gunshot wound. They had these single gunshot wounds to the head, chest. Injuries forensic experts say are consistent with aimed fire from a distance. I can't show this. This has half of this kid's head blown off. It's very graphic. Journalism like this, patient, corroborated, unflinching, is essential. Credit to Volkskrant's reporting teams, editors, designers, and the clinicians who documented what they could under the most horrific conditions. Read the full article here. This is a Palestinian child. English version. Here we go. Gunshot wounds in Palestinian children indicate targeted fire. Multiple doctors recount eyewitnesses attributing fire to IDF snipers or armed drones. The IDF declined to answer questions on shooting at children and says it did not possess or use fragmentation weapons. The doctors face an impossible choice: speak out about what they witnessed and risk being barred from ever returning to Gaza. According to the UN, since March 2025, Israel has denied entry to 100 plus foreign health workers, usually without explanation, because they come home and they describe what they've seen there. All the hundreds of thousands of children with blown off limbs. There's never been a country with a higher population of amputees. And they're all children in Gaza. Forensic pathologist Frank Vandegoot. On the x-rays, I see children's heads with bullets inside. The bullets must have lost a lot of energy on the way because children have thinner skulls than adults, and otherwise they would have gone straight through. So these children were shot from long range, he said. A former Dutch army commander, Mark de Cruyff, is quoted as saying the chance of 100 plus such cases being accidental is nil, zip, nada, zilch. It doesn't fucking exist, given the concentration of wounds to the head, heart versus overall body surfaces. These were people taking pot shots at children. The video of Charlie Cookers, I can't begin to imagine the agony of that happening to a loved one. He has a soul and 2 kids. I get it. They actually have a malarial vaccine now. So there were more stories. There were more stories about this. These kids. It's terrible. It's just terrible. I don't know how people are not reacting. I mean, now, okay, all over the world now people are paying attention, and they're calling it. They're calling it what it is. A genocide. Progressives have a birth rate problem. For all the talk of a general fall in birth, the drop is overwhelmingly driven by people on the left having fewer kids. By ceding the topic of family and children to the right, progressives risk ushering in a more conservative world. Birth rates are falling more steeply among progressives than conservatives. But conservative birth rates are falling too. So he did a whole little expose on factory farming. It's really terrible. I've watched this stuff. I used to watch Faces of Death, when I was a kid. I don't recommend watching Faces of Death. They're pretty horrible videos, but it's hard to fathom the scale of factory farming. Factory farms today can find more animals globally than the number of humans who have ever lived on Earth. Just one factory farm in Iowa holds more animals than all U.S. animal shelters and zoo clinics combined. It's pretty gross. So today in Utrecht, a grim milestone was marked. For the second year in a row, a Dutch activist laid out children's shoes and read aloud the names and ages of children who have been killed by the Israelis in Gaza. Today they read 19,000 names. It's a lot of names. It's a lot of shoes. It's a lot of children that have been murdered by Benjamin Netanyahu, our president's butt buddy and best friend. I don't know why. Oh my God, imagine that. Jeez, can you believe this? It's incredible. What an incredible concept. Amazing result from a 10-year study. A one-time $1,000 cash transfer to households in rural Kenya cut infant mortality by 48%. Holy shit. One of the biggest gains ever seen in global health. The best way to save a child's life is to give a mother money when she needs it most. Can you imagine that? What a fucking epic concept. A new way to reduce children's death. Cash. Simply giving money to poor families at certain times reduced deaths among young children by nearly half, a study found. Incredible. But, I don't know. I don't know that people are really caring or listening or any of that. At any rate, I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so. I guess it depends on where you are, right? I mean, it depends on where you are, whether it's going to help or not. So anyway, I just wanted to also talk about, holy moly, Trump killed Moderna in U.S. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services today announced the beginning of a coordinated wind down of its mRNA vaccine development activities. HS winds down mRNA vaccine development under BARDA. Can you imagine what's going to happen? We have kooks, nutcases. We have the biggest kooks and the biggest fucking nutcases. Jesus. Trump says he'll fire labor statistics head after weak jobs data. I remember, reminds me of the time when Greece faked its economic stats and prosecuted its chief statistician, Andreas Georgiou, for telling the truth. Spoiler, this didn't end well for Greece. Reality is that the thing's still there even when you stop believing in it. Yep, the thing's still there even when you stop believing in it. It really is. So, 15 years ago, a bunch of billionaires promised to give away at least 50% of their wealth. Since then, their wealth has grown 283% on average. Of the 22 signees who have passed away, only 8 managed to actually donate half or more of their wealth. There's just one living. Most donations, just one living. John and Laura Arnold have filled that pledge. Most donations have not gone directly to charity. Instead, the bulk has been given to private foundations or donor-advised funds. That money is still in the bank. And all of these billionaires promised to do that. Yeah, perhaps the Giving Pledge needs a new name. The Waiting Pledge? The Will See Pledge? Suggestions welcome. Okay, you guys. Yeah, the biggest problem in the world today isn't climate change, future pandemics, or democratic collapse. It's that far too many of our most brilliant minds are working on everything but those problems. You guys, we need to get this asshole out of office. He is destroying our democracy. He's destroying our healthcare. He's destroying America. As we scroll, as I sit here and scroll, he's destroying the country that I've loved. I didn't realize how much I loved America, I guess, until I got my newfound freedom. But after spending half of my life locked up, due to my own fault, I take accountability for my actions. I mean, I broke the law and I robbed a bunch of banks and I ended up in prison for 22 years of my life. 22 years of my life. I'm done. Now I get out in 2016 and Trump has got office. And what am I supposed to do? I want my freedom. I want time to build a future. I don't want this motherfucker in my life. I don't want Trump making policy decisions about me and the people I love. I don't want Trump making decisions about anything. He is a demented, dementia-addled old man who needs to just go sit his ass down in his dumpy duty Donny Pants diapers and retire. We're done. He's covering things up. The FBI is totally incompetent. I watched the interview with Kash Patel yesterday. It was so embarrassing. So fucking embarrassing. So, you guys, have a good day. Israel is definitely committing a genocide, and incredibly powerful investigation in Dutch newspaper NRC. 7 of the world's leading genocide scholars, including renowned Holocaust experts, described Israel's actions in Gaza as genocidal. Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. They are. So let's just all get behind this. We don't want this. American people have woken up to this, and like 80% of the Democratic Party is against the war in Gaza, the genocide in Gaza. Let's just call it what it is. So stop fucking around. Stop giving money to Netanyahu. He doesn't need our money anyway. Stop taking money from AIPAC, Democrats. All you Democrats out there taking money from AIPAC, you're going to get voted the fuck out of office. We're going to hold it against you. We're going to hold it against you at the ballot box. So why don't you maybe try to scale back those donations from AIPAC now while you have a chance before the 2026 midterms? I mean, even if we're allowed to have the midterms, right? Okay, love you guys. I'll talk to you next time. I'll be back in a minute.